All right. Welcome to the podcast. Podcast number 3.
Day 2.
This is our second podcast today. The boys just left, so we're just going to continue on with this extravaganza. Yeah.
All right, we can actually talk about something.
Now we can. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We can actually talk about it.
We should probably just cut that.
I don't care.
Okay.
Talking to you, Dean.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I'm shooting down names.
What's a call out?
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Dean's not going to listen to this. And if, Dean, you listen to it, you prove me wrong.
Damn.
Then you can just
But guess
text
what
me
Dean
right now.
forgot? It's in my hand right now. My
Ooh,
right
lighter.
hand.
Lighter.
No,
Yeah.
actually, that's my mom's car, so.
Rats.
Good. Oh, yeah. That's my mom's
Thought
car.
you caught him.
Okay.
All right.
So, can we talk about... We had some good stuff that we were talking about today. I'm going to try and pick something that we were talking about. Cole, you told us about where you grew up. Cole, tell me about your love for filming and where that came from.
Damn, you're going deep. This is... All right. Well, welcome to the Deep Podcast.
We're at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. We're deep.
We're deep. All right. So, yeah, I'll talk about my passion, which is filming.
Mm-hmm. We'll go around.
So-
We'll go around and do passion. So you're gonna filming. What would you say your passion is, Eric?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, and I'll talk about music.
Would you say, like, MMA?
I like MMA. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
probably
we'll
the
just-
closest.
That's
give a
something
little-
you get really into.
We'll just give a little.
Yeah.
So tell us
All right.
about your
All right.
film.
So,
We'll try and ask questions.
Yeah. Okay. So it all started back when I got my first laptop. Right. It was a gift from my aunt. She got it for me when I entered middle school. I mean, it was nothing state of the art, but it had a webcam and Windows Movie Maker. So yeah, I started out with that. You know, made some mini movies. Oh, you know what? Before that, you know the Envy, the phone flips up with the keyboard. I made stop motions on that.
Oh,
and what
wow.
you could do is, like, you couldn't take pictures and stuff like that. It had to be in a movie, like, and there was a pause and play button for when you were recording, so you could pause the video and then start it back up.
Record it. Okay.
So I would quickly like tap it, and then I would count as like a frame and move the figures, tap it again, but I had to keep the camera still. But that's how I would make videos and stuff like that. And you know, over at my grandma's house, I just took some Legos and, you know, made some phones.
And how long did it normally take to make like a?
Oh, it takes a long time for stop
I
motion.
bet.
Even if you're bad at it, it takes a long time. It's a lot
Even
of
if you're
hours.
bad at
Yeah,
it. So
even
you're saying if
bad
you're
at it.
better at it, it takes even longer?
Yeah. Back when I got a little better at stop motion, it would take me like maybe a week to make like a 5-minute kind of
That's crazy.
video, and that was like, you know, 15 frames per second. I'd say.
I recently found out that the Lego Movie
with
is
CGI, 99%.
99% CGI and only 1% stop motion.
Yeah,
and
wow.
when they came out, the marketing was all about how, it's stop motion, blah, 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 blah.
The thing is, it was technically stop motion, but everything was CGI. Because
the Legos itself was CGI.
to make a full stop motion film out of Legos for that would be extremely expensive and extremely time consuming. Because, like, you got to think about the explosions and the entire, like, huge sets that they had to do. But they made it feel like it was a stop motion. I like that because the figures moved like an actual Lego minifigure, and they weren't kind of like distorted, like, you know, kind of like the video games.
And another cool thing was that every single thing used in the movie was a Lego that you can purchase. It wasn't, they weren't trying to make anything else. They were just using the media that they had, which was the Legos.
Yep. I thought it was... I really enjoyed the Lego movie, especially because Will Ferrell's in it.
So, alright, so you do the stop motion at your grandmother's house. Where does that bring you to?
And then that brings me to... my mom got a Nikon D3100, not a super fancy DSLR, but it was the first DSLR in the house. So I used that for a long time. And then I got my first Handycam, just a camcorder, Canon.
Okay.
That's where we filmed the deal
Okay.
on Typical Films. That was our first video. And then it kind of just went up from there. Just and then I had a lot of support from you guys. Kind of just wanted to do all the films and stuff like that. So
now tell us about the couple videos that you have your most views on. So I know on Typical Films you have one with 2,000, some with like 600, but then on your other channel, Lego Man 360, you have a
I have a video that has about 100,000 views. I mean, it's
Did you know
nothing
that?
crazy. Nothing
I didn't know
crazy.
that, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100,000 views. And
It's-
tell the viewers
Okay,
what the video is about.
So
because
if you go to my channel, Lego Man 360, you know, that's a channel I had for a number of years, but I got really into it. I have about 223 subscribers, I think, the last time I checked. But that was when Lego was like a really big thing on YouTube. Yeah, so basically the video is I made this little mock, like this little set, and I just took my flip camcorder and just recorded it. It's like a 2-minute video. Really shitty mock, I'll admit. It was nothing special. And the worst part about it is it got flagged for copyright, so I can't make any money off of it. I even changed the music in the background.
Why did it get... Oh, the music.
Yeah,
You
because of
used
the
was
music.
copyright.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
do you understand what he said by a mock? So Cole set up his Lego figures just on the floor of his room
Yeah.
and filmed them, and he got 100,000 views from
I
it.
can even show you the video, but like
Incredible.
that's it. That's what got me 100,000 views. I didn't get a cent from it, but it's crazy to like that I can just go onto it and like, you know.
It was part of a
It's-
fad, yeah.
Yeah. But the deal has about 2,000, or not the deal, the
Standoff.
the shootout. That's what it's
Shootout.
called. Yeah, it has about 2,000 views, and my dad wants to make another video, like a sequel to that, which I've told you about, but I won't say anything on the podcast.
Keep it
But
on the DL.
But yeah, so I mean, I can say I made a pretty successful YouTube channel. 246 subscribers. You know,
That's more subscribers than my channel has.
Yeah, I don't have a channel.
I don't either.
but yeah. So let's see. Oh, 97,000 views.
Nice.
All right, so pretty
Still
close.
97,000 people.
130 likes and 51 dislikes, and those dislikes are from I guess people who didn't enjoy it. But
So what's one?
obviously
So you do. I know you do a lot of different type of filming, right?
yeah.
You do different types of filming. What's one type of filming? I don't know if like you can categorize it as like adventure filming or like music filming, like for a music video, or hiking trails, whatever, like
Yeah.
extreme.
Um,
What's one that you have never done but you're very interested in doing?
See, I've always wanted to do a horror film, and I am batshit, like, I'm a pussy when it comes to horror films. Like, I can't do, like, ghosts or, like, any demonic shit. That freaks me the fuck out. But it's something I really want to do, because it's, like, it's really easy to do that kind of stuff.
We
If
could
you have
do
a good
that.
music with it, you can make the stupidest thing be the scariest thing in the world. You know what I mean? So I feel like that'd be something really interesting. But I've kind of delved into, like, a lot, like with stop motion and like just basic cinematography, making things look like really nice.
Which you do make things look really nice, because
And then
being able to
vlogging.
take all the shit that we throw at you and making it into
And I think that's really fun, because you guys will just like I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but you'll throw me some bullshit. Like if I were to just upload this straight onto YouTube, like the way it is, it would be terrible. But I like making that kind of terrible mess and making it into something really good. Because that, you know, then when we get better, and I think we've really progressed, you know, we can make really good stuff. Like the grill video, that's turned out really good so far. I mean, you know, granted, like the acting was good
because
in it
it
and
has
stuff like that.
cuts.
It has cuts.
Yeah, the
See,
cuts are key.
we've learned to do cuts and, like, you know, do
Actual
B-roll
scenes.
footage. We learned to do B-roll.
And
So,
what's B-roll? What's that mean?
B-roll is kind of like remember when you're like, oh, get a shot of me like having the spatula on the grill. That's B-roll.
Okay.
That's something I'll add
Just
under,
fill it.
like, because you were talking over it when I added that in. So instead of just having like dialogue, it'll switch to the B-roll. So it makes things a little more interesting, keeps the viewer a little more into the video. So yeah.
Also, I like the fact that we're making our own music for the.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
That's
because
gonna be something new.
Well, the one thing is, I don't have to worry about copyright or like getting our channel flagged or anything like that. Starting like bullshit like that, and then it's another creative part to add to our videos, and I think that's really cool. Because then we're doing basically everything. Mm-hmm. We're doing like the visual effects, the editing, the filming, and the music, all by ourselves. You know
and also, we can just freaking do our own music a cappella, and then you can't get flagged for that either. Yeah, no one will ever freaking know what song it is.
Exactly, because it's our own thing.
What's the worst video you've ever made?
Oh, that's a good question.
So we just talked about your most popular. Give me your favorite one, like the most favorite one to work on, and then also give me your least favorite one to work on.
Okay, my favorite one to work on, I think, was probably our Agent 007 one.
Okay.
That was my absolute favorite. I think the whole filming process of it was really fun, and then just the editing process. Granted, I edited it, I think, a year or two after. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot of fun to work on. But I think my least favorite. Oh man, I don't know if I could actually say like I have a least favorite.
There has to be a video that you're just like, I hate that this is up, or come on.
Oh, you know what it is?
What is it?
It's the Joyride video with me, Nick,
I was there.
You, Paul Graholski, and Andrew Kang.
Shout out to Andrew Kang. Thank you for protecting our country in the United States Coastal Guard. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Thank you for informing me.
And shout out to Andrew Kang's little brother who has just been enrolled into the Coast Guard. Thank you for serving our country.
Nice.
And last shout out to Emily Cicchini because you're in the Naval Academy. Thank you very much for serving your country.
And we know you, yes. She can fucking.
So why did you hate the Joyride? First of all, I'll explain what the Joyride is, and then you can explain why you hated it. The Joyride was us driving around in Cole's big Lincoln, his parents' car, and we had cars. We had cameras in the car. We put on, what song was it? Every Time We Touch.
Yeah.
And we lip sync to that. Now, I'd just like to say that one Late Show guy, I believe he does the Late Show, and he has the celebrities come in. He does the same exact thing that we did 3 years prior than that. But it is less cringy because the people are famous. But I'd just like to say he does the same exact thing.
But he's also good at singing.
I'd argue not. But continue. Why did you hate it?
Well, he's decent. He's better than us.
Why did you hate it?
Why did I hate it? Because it's just such a cringy thing. Like, I hate being on camera. And that's like a thing, like, you could notice in the typical films, is because like I'm never in the videos. I mean, I'm in like 2-3 videos, and I don't know. I like being behind the camera. I don't really like being in front of the camera. But just looking at that and just being like, damn, we picked the worst song, and we're just way too into it. I might leave a link in the description to that video. I might put it unlisted, but...
and if you want to watch a similar video, it's watch The Late Show with James Corden, weeknights at 12:35 a.m. Eastern.
This is not a paid endorsement.
His sing-alongs he has with Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars, and Ed Sheeran are pretty much what we did with Every Time You Touch. So you hated it because it was too cringy.
It was very cringy. Like, you know how the cringe compilations we watch? I think it should be on every single one. Like that first video.
I look back on it and we thought it was a great idea.
Really?
We thought it was so silly.
Well, we fucking made the video, didn't we?
I guess.
Just think of me in the back, fist pumping. Every time I touch.
Oh god.
And then
yeah, I mean, other than that, like, I can't think of any other videos that were cringy. I mean, I think our first great video was the Subaru drifting one.
The Subaru drifting video?
I mean, granted, it's to 21 Pilots,
R.I.P. Good 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Thank you for Vessel. Go fuck yourselves for whatever dirty talk. What is it?
I don't know.
Whatever the new.
Heathens. Are they the ones that did Heathens?
Yeah, the new fucking album is trash. Okay, whoever listens to 21 Pilots and you think the new album is gold, it's trash. And when I talk about music, I'm gonna tell you what bad music is, ladies and gentlemen.
You're
gonna ask me-
102, The Breeze.
So you told us most views, your least favorite, most favorite. What's your? Do you like when we do serious, or do you like when we do like these little ideas that become funny?
See, I
like
really
the toilet
like the
paper
little ideas and like the TP video, toilet paper video.
I think that one's my favorite,
Yeah,
honestly.
that one's really good. I
it.
would like to do a really serious film, but the thing is, not to bash on you guys, I don't think anybody's ready for it.
No.
Like, no one's ready to take it seriously. So, yeah, that's my stance on it.
Your mom lately? Is she up? Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's all good.
Guess Fred Ledger. All right, so
Just as confused as all of us.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about anything else? Do you have any questions?
no,
You haven't
I'm
asked him
good.
any questions about anything.
I was actually going to ask him, he answered it actually. I was going to say, like, why are you not really in many scenes? But you answered it. You
Yeah,
actually
no,
don't like being...
I don't like.
I
being in
noticed
front of the
that,
camera.
yeah.
It's
Cole
like,
doesn't like to be in front of the camera or in large groups of people.
No, I've come to realize I have really bad anxiety when it comes to like large groups of people.
Mhm.
So I don't really like,
Parties and stuff.
It's not parties too much because I don't have to interact with anybody.
Mm.
But the moment I have to interact with like large groups of people or anything like that, like all eyes on me, I kind of get a little
Ooh, like
scary.
public speaking.
I mean, that's how I was when I was serving. When I first started serving, I'm a little more comfortable with it now because I do it. But I don't really have to deal with like banquets. I mean, I've done a couple banquets, but it doesn't seem as bad because I don't know. It's my job. I see it as my job, not as kind of like a public thing I gotta do.
It's good. And it's good that your job is helping you overcome something that's making you into a better person. Because being able to have public speaking skills is a good
I think
skill to have.
my serving job has really helped me with like talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's cool.
all right. Well, let's move on to Eric. About your
Or do you want to go to me? Do you not want to talk
I'm
about?
pretty boring. Like my motivation for it is like I just played video games as a kid, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was like, "This is cool." Like
He's talking about MMA, by the way.
Yeah, I like fighting and being. It's like a weird guttural sort of ancient genetic memory, I guess I have of just like I just feel like if I can beat someone in some sort of physical contest, it's cool. But sports never really did it for me. I've never been a team player kind of
that's
guy.
why you did swimming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And swimming was cool because it's kind of a team, but at the end of the day, it comes down to just your performance.
Yeah, your time.
Yeah.
How
So
you do it.
there's that, and then like I realized like, I decent at like grappling things and stuff like that, like some wrestling. We used to just bullshit around and wrestle, and
Yeah.
it always interested me just being able to beat someone like that because that's like.
I mean, you're not the type of person that would go out for blood. You know what I mean?
I don't look for fights. No, I don't really. Especially the more I do MMA, the less I am. Like, I would only use that in, like, obviously in the ring if we were, like, in an agreement. Or, like, if I had to really, like, protect people. But I would never actually, like, start a fight. It's
kind of like you're given this, like, power and stuff like that. And you know.
I'm not to say that I have this. Not to say that I have
power
this.
because great responsibility.
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire's the worst Spider-Man ever.
Oh, yeah, I like my chances in a fight with, like, most people.
You kick
but,
my ass.
Yeah, but it's just, like...
Kick Cole's ass, too.
But I don't know, like I have some basic skills in it, and it's kind of cool just to know some certain things to look for.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
When I told him he'd kick my ass, he blushed.
So I mean, I think it was weird because like I always wanted to sort of be that dude that like kicks ass, and then it helped out that just like I grew up because I was always a small kid actually. And then I grew up and I got like my dad's genetics. I'm just kind of like a bigger dude. Like I have wide shoulders and just like.
That's how I was. I mean, I was really short up until like I'd say sophomore year of high school, and then I got my growth spurt.
Exactly.
Like I was like 5,
Yeah, how short were you?
I was like 5'8".
Thanks,
like
man.
really short.
Thanks.
I don't know.
Guess how tall it says on my driver's license?
5'7"?
No, 5'6", because I got my driver's license when I was 16, right? They take your measurements when you're
Right.
16.
I mean, mine says I'm 6 foot.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not 6 foot. I'm 6'4".
My driver's license says I'm 6 foot. Mine
Yeah.
says I'm 5'6". Cole, I'm only at probably 5'7.5" right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the tallest person in my family.
You're taller than your dad?
My dad's only... If that's... Yes, I'm taller than my dad. I'm pretty sure that I'm 5'8". My dad's 5'7".
Wow.
We're
Yep.
short people. And all my other cousins that... From my dad's sister and my dad's brother... That, like, they had their children.
Mm-hmm.
All the men are, like, at least 6'2". Because we have John, the SWAT guy. He's, like, 6'1", 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
His brother is taller than him. And then
Wow.
their cousin Tony is 6'4".
Wow.
So, all of them are... What the fuck?
And are you're like Italian mostly? Or?
I'm 50% Sicilian,
Oh, okay, Sicilian.
but that is nothing, like, I don't know, Sicilian, it's
Well,
not...
that's the thing that I've noticed. Sorry to cut you off, but
That's
like
fine.
I've noticed that like Italian people and Sicilian, I know there's a difference.
There is a difference.
I don't really know the fucking difference.
Do you want to hear the difference really quick?
Sicilian people are shorter.
One like
That's what I've
spaghetti, one
noticed.
like salami.
That's
I
true.
got
We're all Sicilian.
Okay.
Difference between Sicilian and Italians would be the same as difference between New England people, like northeastern people, and people from like Tennessee and shit. High Italians that live in the north, like around Milan and Venice,
Mm-hmm.
view Sicilians as like Southerners, like just like we view
I
Southerners.
see.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so if you go down to Sicily, that's the southern, but Sicily's a very beautiful place.
Yeah, it is.
And I will hopefully be visiting there for the month of August, where they go on their vacation.
Cool.
And you have parties every night, and you just drink wine. And I'd like to say, Anthony Bourdain's, I'm pretty sure it's Parts Unknown that it is one show.
Mhm.
He goes to Sicily, and that's the only time that he ever blacked out and didn't remember filming the episode.
Wow.
Because he just had too much wine in the day.
That's crazy.
It wasn't like he was chugging it. They were just having a good time. They just kept on, like, because they would come fill up his cup, he'd drink it, it's the Italian hospitality, and he blacked out. He's on record saying that's the only episode he doesn't remember.
Wow.
And he was watching the episode, and he's eating like his shrimp linguine or something,
Mhm.
and he's like,
Oh, the
"Yes,
best
this is the
linguine.
point that I forget everything after." But it's like this really gourmet shrimp linguine, whatever. So you started watching, and did you start watching MMA first, or did you start participating in MMA first?
I started watching first. I'm kind of like one of those people that actually got dragged in with Conor McGregor once he started to get.
Mhm.
It was before he got really big, though. I watched him on like his first UFC fight against, I think, Diego Brandao or something, or Marcus Brimage or something, some low tier in the featherweight division there, because he was a 2-time champion lightweight and featherweight in some other European organization, and then they took him over, and then he blew up really fast. So it's been crazy to watch. Now he's about to fight Floyd Mayweather in August.
Yeah, that press conference was a little whack.
Yeah, that's weird. It's cringy, man.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
you've been a part of the scene for 4 years?
4 or 5 years,
4 or
I'd
5
say.
years. Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's cool to actually be able to do it too, because then you have so much respect for like the people. Because MMA is a weird one where they'll be on the ground or something hitting each other, and the most common question I hear is like, "Why doesn't he just stand up?" And it's like, well,
Really?
it's a lot harder than that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just get up when a dude who knows what he's doing is on top of you.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I respect for swimming, because I participated in swimming for
Mhm.
one summer, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah, it's
respect.
not
I guess
fun.
it's the same thing. Like I'm like with football, I'm like they don't really do much. Why is that? Like that running back only plays like 3 downs every series. Like why is he tired?
Yeah,
Like I'm
like,
sure
I
there's a
hated when
lot
people
more than that.
Said like, yo, swimming's not a sport, and then the fucking football team jumped in the water and they're like, fuck, I can't do this.
I
And
love
he over
that.
here doing like 500s, like no problem.
What happened?
Like the football team, like, you know, they would just jump in the water, do like a swimming exercise, and they're like, fuck, like this is
Wrestling would do it too.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they don't know how difficult it is until they actually do it. Like, and I'm sure, you know, wrestling's fucking hard, and so is football.
Wrestling
Don't
might
get
be
me
the
wrong,
hardest
it's totally
sport.
different elements, but I mean, like, you know, when you get in the water, it's like it's hard.
Uh-huh.
What's your fastest 50 time?
When I went to districts, I won a 21 9.
And what's like an Olympic qualifier time?
Well, that's different because they're doing, I think...
I know they're 50-yard pools, right?
Yeah.
They're 50 yards, straight. So, I mean, like, a 50 would just be down for them.
But
and I
still.
swam 50 yards down, and my time was, I don't know it. I can't
Was it
say.
slower or faster?
It was slower because,
Yeah.
like, the flip
You
turn
don't have
adds...
the push
adds
from the
but,
wall.
The district qualifiers to go to states, their times are, like, 20 seconds... 21 seconds.
So you could have gone to states.
I could have gone to states, but someone was faster than me.
That's
So-
that's exactly what happened. I got like a 21 something my senior year, and then somebody.
I didn't
was
know
like-
that.
Yeah,
You're really good at swimming.
sprint lane. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, that's when I didn't go to practice at all. And I mean, if I really tried, if I was
You're
like,
such a fuck
like
boy.
our friend Sean Venata, he's like very dedicated to swimming. If I was as dedicated to him, I think I'd be like pretty decent.
Shout out to Sean Venata. He's a bassist in his band. I believe it's called Cobus.
Mm-hmm.
They perform at the University of Pittsburgh. You can find them on Instagram at Cobus or on Facebook. So check them out.
Yeah.
I feel
Their
the same.
music's pretty good.
I was gonna say I feel the same. Like if I would have actually put some
Yeah,
more time into that
exactly.
shit, I would have gotten a lot.
Yeah,
more.
because I felt so bad because like a lot of the kids on the team were like
Show
really
up
into
every
it
day.
every day, super dedicated. And I really wanted to see them do better, but like they kind of just like went up and then plateaued, and I felt really bad because like me, I'd show up for one meet, I'd get districts the first time, and everybody would be like, "Whoa, this fucking asshole!" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, like you know, I'm gonna swim my hardest if I'm competing, but." You know,
I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, and in my senior year, my knee was fucked up, and it kept popping when I did flip turns, and it would be very painful. So that's why I didn't go to districts, because I'm like, nah, I can't do this with my knee. It's kind of like, you know, my time's gonna suffer, and I'd rather not do that. I'll give the spot to someone who can actually compete.
It's a noble thing for you.
And
to do.
everybody's like, oh, you're just saying that because you don't want to go.
Oh, that's fine.
And I'm just like, okay, well, you know. That's fine.
You don't be there.
Whatever.
So I had one summer as a swimmer, as a Hanover Stingray, and I think I went to 3 meets, maybe, and we had a lot. I remember I skipped one for Bob's birthday to see Batman 3. Batman.
Yeah.
Batman movie.
I did see that with you guys. Yes, that was a badass movie.
Mm-hmm. So the only memory I have was it was at Hanover Swim Club. And we were doing the 50 free, right? Because like they didn't put me in anything else. I think I did the 50 free and the medley relay because like I couldn't swim. I literally didn't know how to swim when I showed
You
up.
know the strokes.
Like I went there like the first week and I was like, oh Alex, like because Medellin was the one that like kind of got me into it. And I was like, are they gonna teach me how to swim? Because like I don't know how. Like I don't know the actual mechanics. Like obviously I know how to swim. I don't know how to do it competitively.
Yeah.
So it was Cole was in the race, I was in the race, and I believe Brandon Lavati was in the race, and then there were 3 other guys, right? And I turned to the guy to the right of me, and I said, "Hey, good luck, man." He said, "Good luck to you." And I was like, "Hey, honestly, if I beat you, that's really sad because I suck at swimming." I said this to the man, and then they were like, "All right, on your mark, get set, go." Beat the guy. Looked over at him. I was like, "Dude, hard race."
Man.
I'd like to. Isn't that so weird? I'd like to say
so
Cole beat me by I believe 8 seconds because I think Cole got I think he got like a 22. This was in 10th grade. I think he got a 22-23. I came in my 50 free with like a 30-31.
Oh, that's so slow.
The kid, yeah, but think about this. This is me two weeks into swimming.
Yeah.
But the kid lost, and I was like, "Come
Dude,
on,
that
man."
sucks.
I looked at him after the race, and I was like, "Ooh, tough one."
Yeah.
That's it.
Listen,
Like,
when I started
I
swimming,
came, and here's the thing: I came in 4th place out of 6. So somebody else.
I should have done Hanover swimming, man.
I came in
It
4th
was-
place.
The first 50 free I ever did was like a 24 flat one. I was like, wow.
And I might
this
be
is
exaggerating with
phenomenal.
30-31, but I honestly think it was 30.
High 20s.
It was definitely over 28.
Oh, okay.
you want to
So let's just say 28, because I don't actually know if it was
Yeah.
30-31, because yes, that is super, super slow. But I know Cole got like a 21-22. I
you
probably
want to
got
hear
like
when
a
I first
28.
started swimming? When I first started swimming, my time was a 38. And
Okay, how old were you?
I was 14.
Oh, okay. I was
So-
only 16 when I started swimming.
When I
15
first
maybe.
started, I went right into LVA, which is a club team. So, and then I was doing high school swimming with that too. So I was practicing maybe twice a day,
Fuck
6 days a week.
Nope. No thanks.
Maybe more than that. But so about 2 months after I swam my first 50, which was a 38, they're like, all right, Cole, get a sub 30. You can do it, blah, blah, blah. And I swam, I went 24 second.
Okay.
And after 2 months of swimming, that was really impressive for at least me.
Yeah.
And I made the Junior Olympic I qualified for Junior Olympics. And that was a lot of fun because I was nowhere near as good as some of the kids that were doing it for since they were born, but it was a lot of fun. But some of the exercises we had to do, when we work out with Eric, I was doing that when I was fucking 14, 15, wall sits, crunches, V-ups,
it's crazy,
bicycles, push-ups. And then in the water we had to do, I remember this set and it was awful. We had to do underwater 50s on our backs in streamline doing dolphin kicks, and we couldn't come up to breathe. And we had to do to do about 12 of those. God. On I think it was a minute 15.
My joke about Liberty's swim team was always that it was just Rick Faust trying to drown you guys, because I would see him tie the fucking bucket to your feet. And the cinder blocks or whatever, there's parachutes.
Yeah.
Oh
the ropes where somebody would be holding you. Just trying to drown you. That's the guy I'm trying to do.
My favorite thing that Jeff ever had us do, I don't know, this was my senior year, so you weren't there, but it was me, it was, you would tie, he would tie your legs together, or no, one of your legs to someone else's leg. And you would have to swim against each other to see who could pull each other across the thing. So we had legit contests of who was a stronger swimmer. I never lost that shit. It was awesome. I wasn't even the fastest, but it was just something about being a stronger swimmer. Yeah. It was me versus Brandon Labate. I'm like, well, we're the same speed. We swim about the same speed for the 50, but I drug him across the pool.
That's crazy. Immediately? Was there any back and forth?
It was almost no resistance. Him and then Alexander Ramos was even faster. I broke, he just I don't know. He just gave up or something. Crazy. It was so silly. The one where he would tie one of your feet to someone else's feet, and you'd swim against each other. In sprint lane.
Yeah, I think I did that once, and I'm super light and super streamlined, so I would just get dragged.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of power. The thing is, I got broad shoulders and long arms and big hands and big feet.
But the mechanics of it work perfectly for swimming.
They work well for me, not for so much power.
That's exactly that's what I was saying to him is all the people that were even faster than me, I would just pull across the pool because I was
because you had more drag.
The two people that were the best was me and Evan Smith. Those were the two people.
Yeah,
we're about the
you were
same
too much
size.
drag. That's funny.
Yeah.
Just your swim coach was trying to drown you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the best one was when he would put parachutes on us. And one day he put 3 parachutes on me and 2 on Paulo Turco.
I hate you.
Okay.
Paulo, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I hate you.
I thought Paulo...
No, I don't like you.
Shout out to Paulo Turco. Fuck you.
No. I like Paulo. He was always a nice guy to me.
He was never nice to me.
Okay, Paulo, we're going to give you a solid 5 out of 10.
A shout out from Eric. I liked Paulo. He was a cool guy.
Paulo, 5 out of 10.
All right.
5 out of 10.
Anyway, me and Paulo are swimming opposite directions. I'm going down, he's coming back, and one of our parachutes get tangled. And what happens then is it just fills up with water. What happens? We both start sinking in the deep end, God. And Paulo gets one of his parachutes off, and I'm still attached to 2 of them, and they're tangled, and I actually can't get them off. And I'm swimming up, and I can swim up, but not very quickly. I'm like, this might be the end, huh? And then, but then luckily, me and Paula working together wrenched me out of that thing, and we just swam up to the top. And we're
good.
We said to Jeff, we're like, the parachutes are down there. He's like, well, you gotta go get them. So
what a fuck.
after immediately almost dying.
Nah, I like Jeff.
Yeah, he was a tough coach, but he was a good coach.
He was one of the good hard asses on the team.
I'd probably take the day off then.
But the thing I liked about sprint lane is when we did the bungee cords, they would tie it to the fucking post at the end of the lane, and it would you just go to the other lane and be like a lot of tension, and then you would just swim and you'd be fucking out of the water like a dolphin, just like gah gah gah. Like, have you ever seen the SpongeBob movie?
With David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, you know how David Hasselhoff's like fucking going like that's exactly what
That's
it
how
was.
He would be
swim?
pulling you towards it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
you had to swim against it
No,
or
no,
something.
no. Yeah, it was pulling you, so you'd just be going. I
Like
don't know
double
what it was
speed or
for.
something.
I don't know why we did it, but
Just to
it
get your
was
form
so
down
fun.
when
It
you're
was
gone.
so
Just to
fun.
feel the
To feel powerful
to feel
for once.
fast.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, swimming was awesome.
So Jonah, tell us about like your passions.
You
That's
don't want
right.
to talk about MMA
We just
anymore?
talked about it.
I don't really have much to say. I mean, I'm really like they
enough.
talk me up like I'm some sort of badass, but I've literally done MMA for like a year or two. It's
You
not
are
really,
a badass.
It's pretty impressive.
It's not really like I'm not like if I went up against other guys that are well, of course I spar with guys that are like have been doing it for a while, but you know anyway.
You're too
like,
modest.
Yeah. Yeah. So, why? What made you choose engineering?
No.
'Cause it's
No, that's not a passion.
So hard.
Okay,
Soccer?
what made me choose engineering? The fact that I get paid money. Why didn't I
Fair.
choose my passion, music? Because you can't make any money.
Unless you're
That's
like, yeah,
right.
you're
You were
right.
extremely
Exactly.
talented with not only the baritone, but you know.
I also play the guitar, kind
Guitar.
of.
You do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like I wouldn't say a beginner, but I'd say intermediate.
I see. I had no idea about this.
I play the guitar. Yeah, I've been playing for probably. I'd say I don't play like I don't practice every day, or maybe I don't pick up a guitar for like a week. So I'd probably say altogether maybe a year and a half, 2 years of practicing. So I have like chords, all chords down, power chords, bar chords. And I guess what I'm doing now is learning how to shit.
This mob
Dive
is just
bomb.
attacking.
This
There,
mob's
it's
out.
gone,
It
it's
keeps
gone.
flying into the fan.
Now I'm just learning how to finger pick and like kind of solo and learn how to do that. So yeah. So what got me into music?
Yeah.
Music's my passion. I'd much rather go to college to be like an audio engineer
Really.
or like some sort of. But there's no money in that, obviously. So
I
I
was-
picked something that got money. I like chemistry and I like physics, so I put them two together. Chemical engineering, cool, gonna help the world one day. But let's go back to
work
music.
for G&E.
I was wondering. I was gonna say like when we were doing the intro to that thing, like
Jonas.
It's funny to see you guys do that because that's literally like of my interests. That's actually at the bottom. That's
Of
always
what?
been at the bottom. I'm not a musical guy at all.
Oh, I love
it. Just
it.
doesn't come to me at all.
And I
I'm like,
totally get that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I want to be really musically talented, but I'm not. I'm
It's just like
awful.
drawing.
It's
It's just like any art, acting, drawing,
I'm sure you
dancing.
get better at it, but it just seems like there's always some person who has like a knack for it that just
Mm-hmm.
their mind works better with it. And I'm not that. I'm like a math-minded, like structure kind of thing, and you know I'm very inside the box kind of.
So-
guy, so.
And that's what a good thing about. I'd say a good thing about engineering is that you are inside the box, but at the same time you have to be completely outside the box. So your way of thinking is systematic, right? But it's systematically outside of a box.
Mm-hmm.
So systematic is normally inside a box, but you're systematically outside a box as you think.
to make things more efficient.
But isn't that crazy? So I would say the creativity that I got from being able to be like being a musician and stuff actually helps me with engineering because you have the creative side which an engineer needs, right? But I also have an engineering like state of mind,
The math
systematic,
kinda,
yeah, numbers more than feelings.
Yeah, for
Kind
sure.
of, but then also I am very emotional, so I think I have a good mix of it. But
Yeah.
anyways, back to what got me into frickin' music. I would say 4th grade. I didn't want to be in the band. They had you got to sign up for the band.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't go to like the meeting. You're supposed to go to a meeting if you wanted to. Didn't show up. The next day I came to class. I came into school and I got called down to the principal's office, and the principal was like, "Oh, the music teacher wants to see you." And so I went there, and the music teacher was like, "I called your mom yesterday," and I was like, "Why?" And they were like friends; they knew each other. So when she saw that I didn't come down, she called my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh no, he's playing an instrument."
Wow.
So she's like, "What instrument do you want to play?" And I was like, "I want to play the saxophone because that's like a fucking badass instrument. Play the saxophone, be a cool jazz guy." 4th grade me. But she was like, "Here's this thing called a baritone." And I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Your grandfather plays it." And I was like, "Okay, I didn't know this, but I guess." So then it made a fart noise, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm playing this farting instrument for the rest of my life now, I guess. That's literally the reason I played the first note, and I heard like a
yeah,
and I was just like, all right, this is pretty cool. And that's literally why I started playing.
Playing this farting machine.
So this lady, Mrs. Conrad, she was the music teacher, knew my mom, knew my whole entire family, so that's why when she knew I wasn't there, she was like, no, Jonah Casella has to play music. Mm-hmm. Played the baritone, played it through, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So I played the baritone for 9 years. Isn't that sad? Yeah, now, if you guys don't know what the baritone is, it's the instrument that Steve Carell plays in the 40-Year-Old Virgin. So we'll just dive into that.
Enough said there, yeah.
Now, I don't know if you remember this, Jonah, but we were, for some reason, not camping, but in tents at Liberty High School. This was 8th grade summer.
Yeah.
Going into
for
high
Relay
school.
For Life.
Yes, that's what it was. And
it got
you
shit
convinced me to join the Liberty Band.
Okay, yeah.
And I played the baritone with you.
Yes.
And
Cole
over those 4 years of magical, LHS, GB, OTC, whatever the fuck that means.
I don't know what OTC is. I just said it. Just more letters to the acronym. LGBT.
Exactly.
LHS, GB, OTC.
LGBTQAI+.
High School Grenadier Band.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was good. That's actually it.
Yeah,
I
I know
have-
there's more now. But,
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Tomorrow there's going to be more.
Shit. Fuck
I
you.
have learned nothing about the baritone.
That's great.
I forget the B scale.
Shout out to Mr. McGill of the Liberty High School Grenadier Band. You are a god. Let's give him a round of applause, Mr. McGill. And here is my public opinion on Kevin Long and what's the other guy's name?
Mr. Frank.
Yeah, what's his first
Judd
name?
Frank. No,
Judd?
That's the math teacher. How dare me?
Mr. Long, Kevin Long, and
We'll just say
Mr. Frank. Alan Frank.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's it,
so I'm
okay.
going to restart this. Here's my public opinion in as brief of a statement as I can
debate too.
I can get on Kevin Long and Alan Frank. I would like to say a very short and sweet, just a little tidbit of my collective stream of consciousness that I'm trying to hold back right now. Fuck you! Okay.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna actually put an unpopular opinion out there, and I've felt it for the whole time I was even in band. Actually, how about you guys talk about band a little bit? And then we'll get to when I joined, and then we'll talk about them.
Right,
Okay?
When I first joined band, it was awesome. Mr. McGill was hard, but he was kind.
Freshman year, right?
Yeah, freshman year. And Mr. Long, he was the hard ass. He was the bad cop. Good cop, bad cop. He was the bad cop. But the thing is, throughout the 4 years, he was always super mean and super strict. But
never too
whenever
mean.
I had one-on-one time with him, he was always very kind to me. He was very open with me. He wanted to help me with lessons and stuff like that. And he never saw me as a bad kid, which is a mistake on his part, and he's stupid for that. But
He called
I respect him a certain way, but overall, kind of I don't know. I have
absolutely no respect for Kevin Long. He called my mother and would have parent-teacher conferences with her because I was a at-risk youth. Let's just put it that way. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to say I was personally victimized by Kevin Long, and I believe that he should be fired. And I believe that his homophobic and racist remarks that he made during and in the classroom should be accounted for. And I believe that Harrison Bailey should fist his asshole as hard as possible
with the telephone pole
and blast him into another universe.
So this is like a whole the whole spectrum of it here.
Because you really liked Mr.
I didn't love him, but he was okay. Here's the thing. I like to look at it from the perspective of him, and I've actually never heard his homophobic or racist comments, so I don't have anything to say about that. I've never heard him say anything like that. But
now tell the viewers.
I wouldn't agree with it, obviously, if he said that, but I never heard him say anything like that.
What instrument did you play?
I played, and this is the best. Here's the kick. I didn't play anything. I carried a sousaphone, and for those of you who don't know what a sousaphone is, it's like that giant tuba instrument. It's like one of those, but they built it to march with. So it wraps around you. It's the biggest, nerdiest looking fucking instrument ever. And I never fit in band at all. I knew from day one, I looked around at these kids and they were afraid of like all of us in the sousaphone section, like all the little band kids. They did not talk to us at all. So anyway, I just carried it in the parades and all that stuff, and just because it looked good, because our band was giant and it looked good to have all the sousaphone horns pointing.
See, like, I remember
That's exactly
looking
what it
at
was.
it was the Rose Parade in California.
Yes.
We were in, very prestigious, by the way. Like,
Mhm.
really hard to get into that. But I remember a close-up on you, and you just weren't playing.
Not playing. Yeah. I did not know how to play. I never learned how to play, but here's the best part. Mr. Long saw me try my best to take charge of that bullshit section. Nobody in that section wanted to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we had people... Now, when we had the reign of Sam Top and Owen Evans, they actually kept people in line because they didn't take shit from people, really. Even Sam, who's a very nice guy, would be like, you have to do this. And I thought that was good.
Because Sam's mentality was like, please, I don't want to get
Yes,
shit
exactly.
on.
Like Sam did the perfect job of like telling them what they needed to do and getting them to do what they did, but without being the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Owen,
Sam just didn't want to get shit on.
now Owen was like, "Fuck you, you have to do this," and I kind of respect that too, because my whole section was just filled with bullshitters. Like we didn't want to do anything. So, but then once they left, you had people like Kelsey and Nate who were the leaders, and I was like, nobody's gonna listen to them. Like nobody's gonna listen to them. So. I mean, I tried my best to keep people doing what they were... Like, when Nate would tell me to do something, I'd be like, okay, and then I'd try to make sure that Quentin, Bobby, and Jeb were doing it at least. And they would listen to me over Nate. It was funny, just because they grew up with Nate. Mm-hmm. But, so I think Mr. Long and Mr. Frank actually acknowledged that. Because I remember one time, and this was cringe as hell. Mr. Frank and Mr. Long were talking about how half of the sousaphone section wasn't there, and including Nate. And he goes... He stands up, and this is in the middle of one of the meetings, and he goes, Eric. And I'm like, what's up? And he goes, I need you to get those boys in line. And I'm not even like a section leader at this time. And the whole band looks at me, and I'm like, I don't even know how to play. But anyway, so that was cool. Like I mean, that was hell. That second was hell, but like, anytime, you're right, Cole, like anytime I would go in and talk to Mr. Long or Mr. Frank, they'd always be super respectful and like try and teach you stuff. Like they were just good. To me, they were good-hearted guys that just wanted to help people get good at their musical
They were
instrument.
trying to direct a 300 to 400 person band,
And this is
and that's
305
crazy. Of full of like hormone-filled high schoolers.
And
like,
band kids are the most obnoxious people because they think they're all really smart when like 5% of them are actually smart. Like they're all just they're all talking, and the school needed the band, and the band were like they were the A-track kind of honors class kind of kids, but they were all way too full of themselves and their accomplishments. So I kind of understand why Mr. Long would have to put his foot down sometimes, and it was really annoying to hear people complaining. They'd be like, did you hear that Mr. Long yelled at this girl for doing this? And I was like, well, what'd she do? She brought in coffee and spilled it all over, and then he told her to clean it up. And I was like, yeah, it seems reasonable. And then I was like, did she clean it up? And they were like, no, she didn't clean it up. And it's like, well,
fair enough.
wouldn't you be mad? Like, what
I'm going
kind
to
of...
respectfully decline everything you just said because I hate that man with a burning passion.
Fair, but all my experiences, whenever people had issues with him, they were doing stupid shit.
Can I tell you issues?
Okay.
Just two quick stories.
I'm willing to hear it.
Yeah.
We all have different
So
experiences.
two quick
with band.
stories. I was sitting in the back of the band room as orchestra was going on. I wasn't in orchestra. I was on my phone, just sitting in the back, very back of the band room. Wasn't talking to anybody. Wasn't near anybody. Mr. Long's conducting the orchestra. I was just in there because gym class had ended, so I just walked in there and just waiting. And the orchestra, everyone stopped, looks at me. Hey, I was like, I pointed at myself and looked around because I honestly didn't know that he was talking to me. Get off your phone. And I was like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, or you can get out. And I was just like, all right, so that's the first one. Second one, right?
Wow, that is bullshit.
Second one, so personally victimized.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that is.
Second
that is
one, band's going on, right? I got my little water bottle, right? Because I need water. It's hot. I'm thirsty. I drink a lot of water. I take a sip. Stops the band. You were probably in there. I know you
I
were.
remember this
Stops
day,
the band,
actually,
looks
yeah.
at me, goes, "You can't have that in there." And I go, "This is water."
Yes.
And he goes, "You can't have that in here." I look at him, shake my head, and like laugh a little bit, and put it down. And I just sit there doing nothing for like 5 minutes because I can't believe this man just told me I can't drink water.
Yeah.
One last thing, my mom was always like, if you're not dying, you're going to school, right? So I get into school, I can't breathe out of my nose, I can't breathe out of my mouth. I'm like shivering.
Yeah,
so
I remember this day. You were pale, you
I don't
looked
bring my
sick.
I don't bring my baritone out because I'm just gonna chill because like I can't move right now.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow 30 minutes in, stops the band, goes, "Where's your baritone?" I'm like, "Hey, like I'm feeling under the weather." And like the way I said it, I was like, "Hey man, like
You're making a plea, yeah.
he's like, "Go out and get it."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Oh my god." And I was like, "Please, like you were there. Do you remember this?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I feel so bad." He's like, "I don't care. Go get your baritone." And I was just like, again, I just put my head down, laughed a little bit, and shook my head. And was like, "All right, man."
Oh my god.
So those were 3 times personally victimized by Kevin Long. But I don't want to talk about Kevin Long anymore because I like to be happy with myself and happy with life. And Kevin Long makes me feel unhappy. BASD, school board and superintendent. Kevin Long should be fired and he should be burned at the stake. So
God.
we're gonna skip over that and we're gonna go to where were we?
I
Typical
disagree.
Films
That
TV
yeah,
does
we do
not
not support that
encourage-
statement. That is-
do not encourage burning at the stake.
Yeah,
But
I
we-
think he's.
but we do
everything else
support-
is up for debate.
We do support him being fired. So I played the baritone for 9 years, and then I transferred over to the guitar. So I played that a little bit. I know a couple songs, but I used to listen to some trash music when I was like a youngin'.
Don't
Oh,
even
we
get me
all
started.
did,
We all
don't
did,
worry.
dude.
I knew, and now still know all the words to "Lose Control" by Missy Elliott. So if you guys want to look that up, "Lose Control" by Missy Elliott, I know all the words.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What
Yeah.
songs do you know the words to that you're?
Just
showing
give
me?
give one cringe song.
I'll just do a couple bands. All right, Hollywood
Yeah,
Undead,
that was
Good.
gonna
System
say.
of a Down, fucking
Green
Fat
Day,
Lip,
Linkin Park.
Blink-182.
Oh.
Yeah,
Eric, any more you want to add?
Hollywood
to this?
Undead was my main one. I knew like 8 of their songs, like that, like in 6th grade.
So
Foo Fighters, but
I
that's
used to-
when they were good. So
Mhm.
I can't really bash. Foo
So I used to
Fighters.
listen to the real trash music. But then something happened to me in like 9th grade, and I started to listen to Cage the Elephant, which was my first like peek into like indie alternative music. And I was like, all right, I have to now listen to good music because I'm not a tool.
Mhm.
So then I started to fill my library up with like Nutrimilk Hotel and like probably Vampire Weekend. I know they're not really relevant nowadays, but they were good like
American
alternative
football.
American football. Yeah, listen to them. And then on a magical night in I think 10th grade, I went to a Young the Giant concert with Cole. Cole was there,
I remember.
and we got front row seats.
Mhm.
And the opener for Young the Giant was no other than Portugal the Man. And I was there, and I was like, "Who the hell are these guys?" And they played People Say, and I was like, "I gotta listen to Portugal
Damn,
the
I
Man."
did see Portugal the Man.
Yeah, you did.
That's crazy.
So that was.
don't
I think that
remember
was 2000. I've been a fan of Portugal the Man since 2000.
I got the
11?
set list.
I got your
Jonah.
beat.
I
You
got
got
the
a-
set list.
You got a set. You got the
Because
set list.
they took it, crumpled it into a ball, threw it into the crowd. I took it.
Where is it now?
It's in my room. I still have it.
Can you frame it? Can I have
It's
it?
awesome.
I think it's Young the Giant though. It might be Young the
Trash.
Giant.
But Portugal the Man is literally my favorite band, and they've been my favorite band since I was in 8th grade.
Okay, so
Like 2000.
so
like-
that was a year before. That was 2010 then, because I started. Yeah,
Well, no, because you're in 10th grade.
no, 2010 was the year I started. We were 9th grade,
You're 9th grade.
so it was
Yeah.
2010. You like them? That's when you started.
It's 2009, I think. 2009, 2010. Either way,
Okay, yeah.
awesome band, right?
Mhm.
Andrew Atkins, a good friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
still a good friend, but this is when me and him would hang out like every day. He showed me the Sun, the music video for the Sun with the guy in the sheep costume.
Yeah.
And I was like, this band is awesome. And I just remember that was like his ringtone every time somebody called him. And every time I'd hear that, I was like, this song's fucking awesome. That was like, that album, Majestic Majesty, just every time I hear it, I think of like some 8th grade shit that we used to do. Just ride our bikes everywhere. And
See, the
Majestic
bands
Matt.
that really changed me, sorry to cut you off,
sorry, it was a satanic Satanist.
was Animal Collective and Death Grips.
There you go.
That's really what changed my like outlook on kind of like music.
Majestic Majesty, I have their tattoo on my back, which is an
do.
album. Majestic Majesty, for anybody that doesn't know, is the acoustic version of Satanic Satanist. Portugal the Man's 2009 album that came out.
If you want to see it,
yeah, if you want to see it,
Instagram.
go to my Instagram, which is Jonah _
I think
makes _ sale, I believe.
it's always changing.
Yeah, it's always changing. It's always changing because it's always going off of Jonah and the whale. So I always make rhyme with whale. But yeah, now I have a Satanic Satanist tattoo on my back. I always forget it's there. Like right now, didn't know I had a tattoo until you told me.
Jonah,
until you said it.
It's Jonah _ delivers _ some _ mail.
Jonah delivers some mail, all underscores instead of space. It's good freaking Instagram title. Mm-hmm. So that they really, and I've been a fan ever since. I'd like to say, come on, boys, your last album, you know that wasn't the best 10 songs you had. I give you a 75% on that, and all your other albums are 100%. So like, let's make this next one a lot better. Mike D and Danger Mouse, you shit the bed with this album. So do a better job next time. I also like to ask if anybody can comment on the comment section below. Why is Censored Colors not on Spotify anymore? I wanted to listen to it today, actually, and I looked and Censored Colors was not there. I think that's Portugal the Man's 2006
That's an old one.
album. Yeah. I wanted to listen to Colors and Created, but it's not on Spotify anymore. Mm-hmm. I asked your Instagram page and your fan Instagram pages. I'd like a comment below, please. I want to know why Censored Colors isn't on Spotify anymore.
How many listeners do you think we have to this podcast?
10, but hopefully somebody responds. I went on today. I just wanted to listen to some good music.
That's weird because that's a random album to just not have.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. They had it.
Oh, they did?
They just, they recently took it off. I'd say it was recently, within the month, they took it off.
That's weird.
And it's not like a bad album. Like, if anything, they should take off Woodstock. But
Woodstock?
That's the new one that just came out.
Oh,
that's the name of the album.
Woodstock.
Yeah, it's not called Doomin' and Gloomin'.
Damn. Okay.
That would have been a cool title name. Doomin' and Gloomin'.
I think that the first 4 or 5 songs that they released before the album actually came out are the best. Yeah, like Noise Pollution is awesome. So Young is really good. Mm-hmm. Feel It Still is obviously like everybody loves that song.
That's them. That's literally them trying to become relevant.
Yeah.
In like a.
I actually don't like that song as much as the other ones, but I think it's still good.
No, it's literally them trying to put out this from what I think is a pop album, is a pop rock album they put out to try and get more fans.
Yeah, and they certainly did it.
Yeah, because Feel It Still is actually relevant. Like that's a relevant song.
It's a political
bunch of, and it's in a bunch of commercials and shit. Like people are using it. So,
I thought you meant like politically relevant.
No, it's just in a bunch of. They're just trying to become relevant, so they get more fans.
Mm-hmm.
Which everyone always says they don't want their favorite bands to get big because you want to be exclusive, but no, I want these guys to get as much fucking money as they can.
I love to see them make money, and I know that they are a great band. I know what they're capable of. Even if, and I was thinking about this. Worst case scenario, they peaked with like In the Mountain in the Cloud and Evil Friends and stuff. That would be okay with me if they went downhill because there's so many albums that they've left behind.
But you gotta remember, this is only 1 out of 8 albums. Like 7 out of 8 albums are gold, right?
They're very good.
They're gold. Radiohead doesn't even have 7 out of. They weren't 7 for 8 for their first 8 albums. You know, they have some shit stuff.
Yeah.
So they can afford it.
I like their EPs, like Under the Waves of the Brown Coat or whatever.
And The Wizard. What's the Wizard one?
I hate that one. The experimental one. Yeah, I'll be honest, that's my least favorite album.
I like it. It's hard being a wizard. It's like confusing being a wizard.
All the different magics and stuff.
Yeah. That's just the titles of their songs.
I've listened to it. I just don't like it.
I've seen Portugal the Man now 3 times.
Live.
Twice.
That's awesome. I almost saw them, but I was too sick the one day.
Well, you can see them on their fall tour when they go out on a fall tour.
Hopefully.
They're gonna shout out some dates.
Through Pittsburgh, hopefully. That'll be
now,
good.
Jonah, you obviously Portugal Portugal the Man's your favorite, band, and probably your favorite concert you've been to. Right?
No.
No? What was your favorite concert?
No, yeah, Portugal the Man was probably the most hype concert I've ever been to, but my favorite concert, I'm going to go off of visuals, is going to be one concert.
Okay.
And then, like, sound, the
Okay.
audio that I got from it. Background, I've been to over 100 concerts.
Wow.
Fun fact, right? Isn't that a cool fact that I
That's
can throw
a
out
lot,
there?
yeah.
I have a list on my laptop. It's over 100 people.
I have a list in the book. I posted it to my Twitter.
Yeah.
You don't have Twitter, I forget. I hate Twitter right now, but yeah.
So yeah, I've been to over 100 concerts. So
Nice.
and I've only been to one concert that I hate, like I didn't like,
What was
and that was I went to the Secret Art Space or whatever
Oh, is
and it
that
was
that
just some-
shit one where
on the
it's,
South Side, and it was just some
Yeah.
some shit band.
where it's just a room with the paintings on the wall and stuff, or is that the gallery?
That's the gallery. That's where I
Yeah.
saw Modern Baseball. That was a good concert.
That's where I saw Harvard.
I went to the Secret Art Space that was on the South Side. It was like an underground thing. It was just like you pay like $5 to get in, so that's why I kind of count it as a concert, but it was shit.
Mhm.
But any concert that I actually paid real money to go into, I liked it.
Mhm.
So, favorite concert visually, Flaming Lips. First time I saw them.
Yes, that was
I saw them at
crazy.
Music Fest, and I
Oh,
was
I thought you were talking about Bonner.
stone cold sober. I didn't see them at Bonner.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
was stone cold sober there, and I thought I was on acid.
Really?
Like everything's silent, and then you just hear this guitar strum, like, and then you just hear this. You just see this light show, LED boards that are like 3 stories tall, radiating rainbow light outwards.
Wow.
Some of their songs had green laser beams shooting over the crowds with dust, with smoke and shit. Flaming Lips, I was there again, stone cold sober, and I thought I was tripping on acid. It was
Awesome.
the coolest. I have goosebumps when I remember it, because it's just like what I felt looking at it, and I was just like, this is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
The production that goes into it, they had giant balls that they shot out over the crowds that had confetti, and people were popping the balloon balls, and the confetti would explode.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
he gets on oh my god, it's a fucking show. So that is the best visual, the best audio, best like nice sounds with people that are like skilled at their instrument. Because everyone you see, obviously, every band you see, they're skilled at a certain point. But the best skill I've ever seen at the instrument was the Ben Folds and Y Music concert. Y Music is a quartet from NYC or NYU, and Ben Folds is Ben Folds, and just the mastery, like the fact that halfway through he just made up a song. He was just like, yeah, you play a G, you play a C sharp, and then give me some staccato, and like I'll just mess around. And he just made a song, and it's catchy as hell. And you're just like, this is awesome.
Wow.
Ben Folds is
I remember that. Yeah,
Ben
that
Folds
was
is
good.
awesome.
That's when you did your magic.
Yeah, that's when I did the magic. Those were and I'm hoping the Father John Misty concert I see this summer
I saw him on
is going to be even more, because I love his voice. I love the big band that he's going on. But other notable concerts, probably Neutral Milk Hotel, Cage the Elephant, the 4 times I've seen them, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye
What
West.
about you? Have you been to any?
I'm just a boy. Yeah, I haven't really been to many huge concerts, but honestly, the best one. What's up?
I was just going to say, comment any concerts you guys have been to, and how about you can comment some bands maybe that you'd want me to check out. I'm always in for new music.
Yeah, the best thing I've seen wasn't even a concert; it was more like a playing, and it was in that art gallery one.
So Harvard?
The really small one. Yeah, I saw Harvard, and the crazy thing is his vocals. I don't know if you ever heard Harvard.
No.
Well, he's got really high pitched vocals, kind of like Portugal the Man, but actually more. I think his voice is better, and it doesn't even. You'd think like, okay, they do that in the studio. It was live, sounded exactly the same. It was crazy, and it's funny because he's got this really nice angelic kind of voice, but he's like a fat, hairy dude that's like 5'5" or something. He's really short and stocky looking, and he just plays a trumpet too. Well, it's
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
That's
It was,
really cool.
and he was a weirdo too. You could tell he was doing these like spirit jazz hands out to the crowd and stuff for like
That's
the chorus.
cool.
Yeah.
I like those like smaller kind of concerts.
Yeah, there was only like 50 people there.
Cole was one, like when we went to Bonnaroo, he got us into, like, Cole's the reason I went to like Skrillex and Zed, and those were fun as hell. Those concerts
Like I'm really into dubstep and like EDM, all that kind of electronic kind of music. But my favorite we'll go off of what you did, Jonah. Like visuals, and then sound, and then overall like performance. I'll go. So visuals, I'll say Bass Nectar was like one of my tops.
Dope.
Just the light show and like the LEDs.
How about Skrillex when he came out on the fucking spaceship?
That was crazy too. That was like, I mean, I'm a little Skrillex fanboy ever since the beginning, so it's like just see that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think favorite like concert like music wise, probably Danny Brown. He's my all-time favorite rapper.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I know he's not the best rapper out there, but like I really like his voice. I like his style. It's yeah. And then probably just one worth mentioning. I really like Billy Joel. I wasn't there for a while, but like his music's very iconic, and like that was like something I'm really
classic.
glad. I'm really glad I got to see him. Like, and I've seen I've seen over like 100 some bands.
Mm-hmm. You've probably seen close to that.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Bonner for 3 years in a row. And yeah.
So
unfortunately,
like
didn't go this year, but yeah, I want to see a lot more performances and stuff like that. But yeah, that and I wish I saw Run the Jewels, but instead I saw Dead Mouse, and Dead Mouse was cool for like the first like 10 minutes, but
it was the same thing.
This is like how
then he
progressive.
He continued to play Strobe for another 20 minutes.
Wow.
See, like, don't get me wrong, like his music's awesome, but like it's not something I want to see. I would want to see again in the show. I'd rather have saw Run the Jewels. I'm really sad I didn't go see them.
It was amazing.
Damn.
Do you have any concerts you want to go to in the near future?
I want to see Animal Collective.
Go see them. Go
Yeah.
see them in Fleet Foxes.
Yeah, and I like Fleet Foxes too.
I have.
So like.
Oh, this is
that and Marshmallow. I want to see Marshmallow.
This is if anybody has any like urge to see Father John Misty at the Theater of Performing Arts in Philadelphia, I'm selling tickets. I don't know if Mikey's gonna buy them. Somebody should text him. I don't have his number, or I'll text him in the.
You want me to give you his number?
Nah, I'll just DM. I'll DM him in the Snapchat group me.
He's not gonna answer.
Yes, he will.
Okay,
because that's where we were answering. That's where we were talking before. But no, I'm seeing Father John Misty twice if I can't sell those tickets, and I'm seeing Glass Animals in October, and then in December I'm going to see LCD Sound.
Can we talk about the B104 or not? I'm sorry, 104.5 block parties before they got too big.
Yeah,
when we
what
went
about
to see them? Just I don't know. I really like those. We saw 21 Pilots twice back when they were like really good.
When they were good.
Yeah, and like I can't tell you how many other bands were there that we saw. Avalanches, right? We saw Avalanches.
No, we did not see Avalanches there.
Oh.
We saw.
I forget who we saw.
AWOL Nation and Imagine Dragons.
Oh yeah.
And then we saw Matt and Kim.
Yep.
And 21 Pilots and Switchfoot and Tegan and Sarah.
And to think we saw all those
Walk the
people
Moon,
for free.
And we saw it for free. That's because
awesome.
they weren't too relevant.
Yeah, but like still. Now they're kind of like a little more in the loop.
Yeah, and now they've been ruined.
They've been ruined.
Man.
Just awful.
Well, it's getting late. Erica had to pee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask one more question. We'll both answer it, and then we'll leave off with some music.
All right.
Your favorite album that has come out so far in 2017? What's one that you can't stop listening to? Of 2017.
A lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but the one I haven't stopped listening to this year is probably the new Gorillaz album.
Okay.
I know it's different from their previous albums and like music, but I really like it. I dig it. It's neat. It's interesting. It has a lot of like Vince Staples is on it. Danny Brown's on it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was a lot of features, but I mean, I'm not gonna like bash it because it's not Gorillaz. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I thought it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine would be a tie between Father John Misty's Pure Comedy album and Mac DeMarco's
I've
This
been
Old
listening
Dog
to that
album.
a lot lately. I mean, it's really good. I mean,
It's chill.
yeah, it's really
That's
chill.
Best way to describe it.
It's kind of similar to his older albums, but I like that, you know. But yeah, definitely Mac DeMarco is one up there.
Did you see him at Bonnaroo when we went?
No, I was so exhausted.
It was the first night.
I don't know what hit me, but Nick and I were waiting. I'm like, Nick, let's just go back and sleep. And he played at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was not feeling it. It was so hot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I kind of regret that, but at the time I was just very exhausted.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I really wish I got to see him, because like that's definitely someone I would want to see if the opportunity came up.
I'm going to play some Mac DeMarco until Eric gets out here, and then we'll say our sign off.
Ooh, careful, copyright. You got to talk over this pretty loud.
Yeah, this isn't Mac DeMarco. All right, Eric, we're signing off to Smooth Stylings of Mac DeMarco. Do you want to say any last words?
I don't know how far this podcast is going to make it, but for those of you that are listening to the first few, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hopefully we can keep this going for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, if we just do this like, you know,
Casually, like you're doing.
like, you know, we did 2 today. I'm not going to upload 2 right away, but, you know, yeah. So,
all right.
I thought this was a really good one. Yeah.
Godspeed.
You Black Emperor.
Yeah, I like when there's just us three. I mean, not just us three, but I mean like when there's other people. Yeah.